but don't touch. So just leave me, girl, alone. So show me the way to your heart. You and me will never depart. Once you're straight with me all the time, I'm focused. Let me follow the white line down the road. And we go wine, girl. Follow the white line down the road. You and your man, girl. Follow the white line down the road. And we go jam, girl. Follow the white line down the road, down the road. Follow the white line. And we go chipper, we go follow the white line. Hey, in the middle of the
Late Night Show with Andrew Tick. It's time for our interview segment right here on the show. And today we are joined by Mark Money Now Mingo.
Hey, good evening. How are you doing?
He's here.
Yeah.
He's actually here. You came on the show.
Yeah.
I like this.
It's. I always wanted to be on your show, but
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of situation, but.
We always have aspiring politicians on the show. You know? We
don't,
always
please
have
stop.
that. No, don't.
No, ask me anything I want,
Yeah.
Andrew. Ask me anything I want.
Now, Mr. Mingo, first of all, how you do it? I just, for people who don't know, Mark, the former CEO of the Port of St. Martin, we knew it before as the Harbor Group of companies, and then it went through a rebranding. But you went through a public ordeal, a big public ordeal, and yet you just here smiling. I don't understand.
Yeah, but Andrew, what else can you do? I mean, look, I'm actually on your show, and the people ask me, and yeah, what really happened over the 5 years? Don't forget, no, Andrew, I haven't spoken to you for like 5 years.
Yeah.
I was quiet for 5 years.
Quiet.
So I can do two things, I always say. I can either go in a corner somewhere and feel sorry for yourself, or you can come out and move on. I'm here. I'm very positive. There's a lot to be done. I'm doing a lot of stuff for myself. I think I got a little younger, right? Or I got older.
Well, yeah, actually.
I don't have hair, but...
No, yeah. You never really had hair. Okay. But coming back to the day this happened, the situation where you were destined to travel.
Correct. I was heading to Washington, and there was a lot of stories going back and forth. I was going to travel to Washington with two of the employees of the port. They were on a flight already, and when I walked in the airport building, I saw to my left, I was held up, and held up for reasons, fraud, bribery, etc. And I went, and I was not shackled or anything, and I went with them, and I was held for 22 days, and there is where the whole nightmare for me started. After the fact, of course, after you're acquitted, you look back and you say, wow, did you see this coming? Did you know it was coming? I mean, you have feelings, but you have to go through it. I mean, I've been through a dark tunnel in the last 5 years, and thank God I'm out of that tunnel, and I'm seeing a lot of light.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm actually here to your show, by the way, got a lot of light too. Anyway.
We bring the light.
Yeah, okay.
Now, after going through a situation like that, I'm sure that, and this has always been St. Martin's type of culture, whereby we guilty until innocent. It's like as soon as you get caught up in any type of drama, the first thing we do is convict you already, and then you'll have to prove that you're innocent.
Well, Andrew, it's look, we're living in a small society. You also know, listen, St. Martin people love Millie. It's a Millie thing as well.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, your show is successful, and I love to look at your show, even me.
Yeah,
and I look at it not only once, I look at it almost every day and waiting for your broadcast. But that's part of living in a small community. And it's very simple. Look, I have chosen a position to become CEO of the port. I was successful. With success comes also challenges. You make a lot of enemies as well, silent enemies, what you name it. And, I haven't finished my story yet, so it's not a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
I'm still somewhere halfway in the story. But, I have heard a lot of people around me when that happened. My mom, my sister, the family itself got hurt. And, you made a nice introduction, where's my money? Look, it's not only about where's the money. A lot of people around me got damaged. And look, I was acquitted, and it's simple. There are certain rules in that game. You saw my legal team, my Dutch legal team with Cor Merckx. I think he was very adamant. You know, I'm not going to call any numbers, but the claim is already in its process. It's going into phase 2 now, and I'm very confident about that. But that is passed on. The claim, the legal team has started now with the claim process. That is part of that area, and I'm moving on in part 2 of my life. You know, I have a lot of energy, I have a lot of know-how, and I want to give back. I come to a certain stage, I want to give back to the community, but next to that, you also have your life. You have to rebuild my life. I have to rebuild my income. I owe my sister and mom a lot of money for the court cases.
Can you imagine?
And not only for the court cases, my mom took care of me. She cooked. My sister used to bring food. It was even a competition between my sister, you know, my sister Marlene, and my mom, who brings the food away, where does he eat his dinner the most. So, you know, I've learned also over the 5 years, I've really strengthened also the relationship with my family, especially with my kids who live in Holland. And you know, I'm divorced, had to also partly do with the case. You know, I got damaged, but I move ahead. I mean, Andrew, everybody in Samant have their challenges and their difficult times, and it's not during the difficult times, it's how do you rebound? How do you get out of it? Do you come out stronger?
You don't have to tell me.
No, but Andrew, you keep smiling as well.
The bouncing back is everything.
I'm going to guarantee you on this one, my smile, don't play with my smile. I smile, but I know who's who now. I know exactly who's who now. I know who are my friends. You are one of my supporters. Yeah. The least I expect you was one of my supporters. Yeah. And you see the real people in difficult times. And look, in good times, you know, good times are good times. Look, everybody wants to be my friend again. Everybody wants to be Mark Mingo
because
friend
things is good now. Because imagine if it was the other way around, and you know you were guilty, then it would have been.
I hope you would have bring Chinese food for me Sunday in Point Blanche, because it could have gone that way too. You don't know. You don't know. But you know, I'm out of the dark tunnel. A lot of positive things around me, but there's also a lot of hurtful things I'm seeing in the community, and that's one of the reasons. You know, I come to your show. I know, look, your show brings a lot of humor, some humor in it as well, because I look at it as a Cinderella story. I mean, I did well. I mean, I started at the age of 31. I was the youngest CEO of the Antilles. I got that opportunity. It's time for me to give back. But with opportunities and you made investments personally, you worked hard for your money. I got damaged, and I just want back what I deserve to be back.
What's due to you.
Damage to my family, damage to myself financially, and you know, I just want to move on.
Looking at the country now, I guess it's my favorite part, because the amount of things that's happening in St. Martin. I always say that sometimes it looks like we're not a real place, because the government-owned companies, particularly, you know, you have your GEBE. You have the airport. Are you really related to Brian? Are you really?
Yeah. Let me just clarify it again.
My God.
Look, Brian Mingo is my older brother. He's 2
your older brother?
Yes, 2 years older than me.
Even what?
I'm Mark Mingo, the youngest brother, and he used to work at Taylor. He was commercial director there. So, look, he's at the airport, and look, the airport situation is difficult. Look, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I know a lot of agreements were made with the previous government or previous governments. And look, when you talk about this beautiful word, good corporate governance and so, it basically means there should be no interference from whatever government, if it's now the Netherlands or the St. Martin government, there should be no political governance in trying to manage a company. Look, the airport, we all know it tit for that and a crossfire about that. So, you know, that should never be in a government-owned company. There are rules for that. And that's one of the reasons I also advised to come with in Parliament, I'm saying it again, is to come with a committee which actually manages and supervises through the ministers the government-owned entities, because it's needed. It's needed. If I said it again, if a councillor, minister, or shareholder representative doesn't react, in my case, for example, the board was not complete. The security around a CEO is the board of directors. If that is not complete for years, you should be able to go higher than a minister or the shareholder rep to deal with it. At this point in time, there was none. And those are all in the reports. We all know how it works. Board of directors, you know, everybody likes to go on the board. And Drew, when they go on the board, drink the champagne, the cutting ribbons, all that nice and well.
Yeah.
But when something happens, really,
yeah.
where you look for your defense, and I can put it on the table. If my board of directors had defended me before the Emerald case, I might have even gone through the 5 years of agony I went through.
Yeah.
Everybody blamed Mark Mingo, the CEO, and then ran off. But I was good when you're traveling on a first class ticket and staying in a hotel and staying in your room, eating your dinner, while Mark Mingo had to walk and meet the executives and beg them for cruise ships to come to St. Martin. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving you a little, or your viewers as well, a little feeling and taste how that goes. And you know, I'm...
so it really has to do with the supervisory position from these different government-owned companies is very important for the success of the company.
It is, look, you need 3 layers. You need the 3 layers. You have the board management, those are the directors. By the way, I was the only statutory director in the port. So there were 3 directors, but I was the only statutory director recognized, you know, according to the Arts Corporation, but it doesn't matter. Then you have the board of directors, and then you have the shareholder. If those 3 layers don't work, you have an issue, the company has an issue. The issue I had at the port was I was there so long, 17, 18 years of experience, so the board members who were there, you really have to look at a profile. How do you, and then when you travel, I always travel with the board of directors, by the way, usually the chairman or vice chairman, and you introduce them to the decision makers, which are the cruise executives, cargo executives, and the big boys. And that was always a process. So I was I was shocked when they said they didn't know about nothing. They didn't know about invoices signing. Listen, they get a report every month. They get a weekly email. They sign off on the audit reports. And then imagine in the process for Balway, the RST, they said they didn't know about nothing. Is Mark Mingo to blame? Is Mark Mingo to blame? So how would you feel? I mean...
Yeah, but you kind of, you see, sound like a politician already because I asked you about the airport and then you just bring it back to the report. But
you really want to know my personal opinion about the airport?
I want to know how can we fix the situation that we have at the airport?
Look.
And put aside that your brother is the CEO.
Okay, let me give it to you from a engineering,
yes,
from an experienced type person. By the way, 2 of the expansion projects at the port, was a 68 million and 100 and something million expansion project port were built by the same contractor, Ballas Nadam. Same contractor.
Yeah, so you have...
so we know how to deal with them. Nobody call, nobody say nothing. How do we deal with it? They are a very complex contractor. When they do a project, they work with their own lawyer. So you imagine that I said, when you put 2 dots on the I, they will send you a change order, not of $1,000, of $100,000. So when you go and sit down with them and you develop, do the project, you better have some serious people on the table, experienced people. Not only an engineer, not only a bean counter, a teller, you call that, the financial guy, but you better make sure you have some engineers who know what they're talking about. In my case, I was a structural engineer, and that helped me to really push and finish the projects. Look, the airport, you got to get real, Andrew. The airport issue was a bit before my brother, and look, I've been on other medias, and I told you all the truth, positive or negative. My brother's a big boy. He can defend himself. The airport, when it was built, it was a glass cupola. It was a glass building. Who builds a glass building in a hurricane belt? Am I going to blame Holiday, the governor now? I think today was his last celebration. No, I'm not doing that. It was a complex building. To me, the technicality of that building was the wrong building to put there in the first place. We ain't going to go back and blame. What we need to look at now is to finish the building. Yeah. Everything has been signed. Ballas Nadam is there. You have management there. You have a board there. You have Schiphol there. Finish the building. Get it done immediately. And then afterwards, maybe if I get elected, I don't know if I'm going to run, we will check the numbers. Don't worry, Mr. Andrew Dick. You can always check the numbers what went wrong at the airport. And that should be also reviewed. Because end of the day, any project, there is always a na calculatie, they call in Dutch, after calculation, what the overruns were and what the issues were and who made the money. I hope some St. Martin people make money. I hope so.
Yeah.
And then you get in a discussion, Is Schiphol the best company? Listen, I used to be one of the #1 supporters of Schiphol. Today, they're one of the worst airports.
Yeah.
We're one of the worst airports.
Look how
And then you
that
got, listen,
changed.
just look how this is not an insult for them. Even the Dutch government, they got rid of the CEO. There are other airports which could be a stronger player. Atlanta. Atlanta is a big Delta hub. Delta, by the way, is a partner at KLM. I still love KLM because I fly with KLM, preferably the Air France. So there's nothing to do that you don't like the Dutch, but you have to choose the right partners.
The right fit.
Look the harbor. The harbor had strategic agreements with cruise lines, with American companies. We signed strategic agreements. By the way, don't leave nobody fool, Andrew. Those ships don't come because they love St. Martin, no. Those ships came because we signed strategic agreements. At that time, it was Theo Heiliger, who was in government, commissioner or minister, and I remember me and him, the so-called twins in the RSD report. Yeah. The so-called twins. We went to Miami, we closed the deal, and today we have guaranteed passengers. I hope they renegotiate the new strategic agreement with the cruise lines, not to $1.5 million, but $2.5 million. But I'm just giving you, again, the insight, back and forth. It's all about partnershiping. Yeah. If the Dutch want to be the boss, that's not a problem. By the way, the harbor was built with the Dutch help. We had a Dutch board member, Mr. Godfried van der Heuvel. He passed away. He was the CEO of Port of Amsterdam. But guess what? He was always defending, leave local management do its job, leave local management deal with the issues at hand. And he would supervise as we go. But that was a different type of relationship we had with the Dutch. It was more economic relationship. Today, as we speak, it's a financial relationship. Yeah. It's very simple. Look, the Netherlands have it difficult now. And what do? Andrew, give me 24 million guilders. But Andrew himself ain't going to work or see if he could make extra money. Yeah. Come on, you yourself laughing about this.
Yeah.
You're laughing.
We sit down and we wait for it and we get it and then we're like, okay, let's wait and see if things pick up. If not, then we ask for another.
24 million is not a lot of money in our economy. $12 million? Yeah. Our economy is how big, Andrew? I forgot. 750 million? 850. Nobody knows. GDP, yeah. $1 billion? Nobody knows. Yeah. And how are you going to collect taxes then? How are you going to collect taxes if you don't know?
Mark, which party are you running on?
Andrew, you start. I was nervous today by coming here. I nervous.
I don't want you to listen, Mark.
It's out there.
Are you looking at different political parties to run? Because you're not going to run by yourself, so you need a party at least.
I'm going to answer you one question. If I run, I will not be creating my own party.
You will not be created. Yes.
You're happy with that answer? Listen. If I run, I will not be creating my own party.
Will you go on a new party?
What's a new party?
You will go on an old party or new
party? No, I call a blind and Andrew, stop it. I call a blind and. But what you want me to tell you? No, I know what you want to hear. I know what you want to hear.
Yeah, but Mark.
Look, but you will agree.
When you look for a political party to run with, what do you look like? What do you look at? What would Mark Mingo say, you know what, this is a good fit?
I would, look, let me give you, look, I have you got me. You got me right on the edge.
All I say is it's like picking the right woman. It's like picking the right woman.
Yeah, but listen, my philosophy has always been, Andrew, our talented St. Martin, let's say people, you're talking about people, the people who gone with pension, who have a lot of know-how, the people who are working, the middle class, but also the up-and-coming young leaders. They need to be part of this economy. So what you're asking me is, I would like to see those people take part in the economy, in making the money. You like to talk about money, right? I want to see more local St. Martin's millionaires. That if you need a loan, we just need to go by them, we don't need to go to a bank. You like that one?
Okay, that's a good point.
The people, how I'm looking at this, that we cannot only run social programs. You need to have an economy robust. When you have a robust economy...
So you're looking for an economy robust party?
You see, Andrew?
I'm just asking.
So what are you trying to tell me? Who's the economic party? UP or DP?
They have many. No, they got no.
Dr. Party, what's his name? The Dr. Party?
URSM.
And who else we have?
They have many. They have about nine parties.
Maybe I should put a survey out and see what the people are going to choose for me. the party, or
Mark,
what?
Mark.
But you think I have the potential?
I don't want what the people might think or what the people might do.
Jesus.
I want to know what Mark is looking at. Mark Mingo, when he looks at a political party, before he joins the political party, what do you look for? Now, you mentioned the economy. You mentioned people who are, young people and the economy. So is that the only factor that you look at, or is there more principles that you're looking for? Because I am sick and tired of when people run on a political party, they get into parliament, they get into a bacchanal with their party, and then they go independent in their ass, and then that's it.
Okay, let me answer.
So I'm going to ask every person who might or might not run the same question, which is, what are your principles?
Look, my principle is very simple. You don't need to question Mark Mingo about loyalty. I've been loyal to the harbor for 17 years, no matter what government. So I've been loyal to development of Samar. That's one. Number two, I'm not going to use those words, integrity and good corporate governance, because that should be part of your heart. That should be part of your person. I think I've been through the grinder already, right? I've been through the wash machine already, right?
Definitely.
I think I'm the most cleanest politician to come, or whatever you want to name it, to go in government, if you really ask. I've been through everything, taxes, my jockey was turned upside down. Even my family, cousins, everybody was checked. But coming back to that again, the party must stand for something. It cannot be a party either, and that's where I will agree with you. You have a lot of people, they quit a party because there was a disagreement, and then they get disgruntled. Then they go their own way. All nice and well. You know what the key to this is? And that's what party I would, if I would run, because you're going to catch me tonight. Yeah, you laugh. You're going to catch me. You're going to get me in trouble. Is if you have issues with a family, within a party, it wouldn't it be nice to fight and then solve it in a room, and you box off each other in a room, and then afterwards you make up, you go, Teen Tantrum no is Lotus, you go Lotus, have a champagne or soggy dollar, and then you just show everybody, oh, we were fighting. Those were the old time days. Remember the fighting between Theo Helga and Sarah, and back and forth, but that was, but it was kept professionally.
Yeah.
You was a fight. Now, look.
Yeah, but Theo end up making his own party.
Yeah, okay,
so
that's true. That's true. But let me talk now, because that's those days. Now you have social media, you have a lot of stuff going on. You need to also have a party who can deal with conflicts. There will always be conflicts. No party is better than the other. There will always be conflicts. If you ask me where I would fit, I told you that already. I want to see a better, robust economy, and I want it to trickle down. It needs to trickle down. I heard one politician say, oh, that could never happen. We can't help the small man. Listen, when I was at a port, a lot of the contractors, smaller contractors, were making money. I think there even was challenges. I challenged Wayne Roads because they didn't want to give the smaller contractors work. We gave them work. Were they headaches? Yeah, they were headaches. They got me in trouble too almost. Yeah, you're laughing.
Yeah.
But would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again. Those people, the only jobs we're creating right now is cleaners on the road. Every morning when I'm driving on the road, I see people cleaning, they have on a nice shirt with a name, but that's no future for this island. That's no future. Where are the CEOs? Where are the CFOs? Where are the CEOs? Where are they? Where are the millionaires? No, let's be honest, 10 years, 15 years ago, you remember you had Opel Car Rental, the Fridays and all those people. They had money. They used to help a lot of people. But you had the money across the board.
Yeah.
Today, it is not the case. Yes, I am a liberal. I'm a bit of a capitalist. I believe in making money, making business. But you also have to look left and right. If Andrew Dick is hurting, help him. If whoever on the other side is hurting, help them. Doesn't matter what. But lift each other up, because that brings back that economy. When I talk about economy, don't forget we used to be named a friendly island. We ain't so friendly no more.
No.
Andrew, I see tourists begging when they go in the supermarket to beg for a smile by the cashier because they just want a little hello, good morning. Yeah. But the people are so stressed.
Can we get back to that, man?
Ooh, that's a difficult question. Nothing is. I always say nothing is impossible, but you need the right people. You need the right people, and You know, it's a lot what is going on. I think we have thrown a blind eye on the groups which really need help. And I'm not going to repeat again. You know, if you really ask me about a hospital, if I would go in government, you get me elected, I want a hospital to be a government-owned company. Why? It's a foundation now, by the way.
Yeah,
I want control over the hospital. Full control over the hospital. Why? End of the day, the government is responsible. End of the day, if something happened in the harbor tomorrow, God forbid, a calamity, who's responsible? Who's the shareholder? The government.
Yeah.
Right now, there's no, now we on media talking about, oh, they spent 50 million look, I don't know what they're building there. I hope it's a hospital. No, I hope it's a hospital because I'm an structural engineer. The wall is almost a meter thick, concrete. If you get an earthquake there tomorrow and cracks come in that wall, we have a problem. But I can't believe what I heard from certain government people that they spend 50 million on that. That's not 50 million. Let's get real here. Yeah. And then I heard something about a letter of intent because of materials. Listen. Let's change the subject. Ask me about my political career now. No, just ask. I don't know. Well, I don't know what to ask. I'm still nervous, by the way. You make me nervous.
No, but Mark, you know, we laugh about it, but this is some serious business because we've been waiting for these type of projects to be completed. The airport, then you have the hospital, and we're going back into an election cycle, and we'll hear the same jackasses coming on television, coming on in the different medias, saying that they're going to fix it when they've noticed that 4 years just passed and nothing really has been done that is tangible. So whether it's somebody else's fault or not, how can we trust anybody else that comes with a solution?
Look,
it's the most, I don't know.
Andrew, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Election or no election, the people of Saman are going to have a bitter taste about the hospital and the airport. It's going to leave a bitter, even if we finish it, it's a bitter taste. And why I'm saying bitter taste? Because you're going to have to explain numbers, even if the project done. You remember we had an issue with the causeway? That was part of the investigation too, the causeway. But end of the day, you're going to have to explain the numbers. If it's before or after, doesn't matter. Right now, finish the airport, get it back on track.
So should we go back in tents?
In tents in which way?
By the airport. Remember they want, Ballast Stadium want us to go outside, back in the tents, so that they could fix the building quicker.
I don't know the logistics, but listen.
You're an engineer, but if you hear something like that,
you turn your face and see what's going on. Come on. We're going back in the tent where, but then I think you just had a gospel show there. I think that building was even more nicer than the tent on the air. No, yeah. I don't want to go there because look, we could laugh about it and it sounds jokey, but it's a serious. If that is one of our critical infrastructures, we have a problem. Do the math. Check which airlines are now going direct to Anguilla, going to St. Kitts,
and they're doing it so strategically. You notice.
And you got Dominica coming online. Yes.
You notice how they're doing it right in front of us.
And in fairness to the CEO, everybody needs to come on board and focus in the right direction. A lot has happened there. Look, I am not there, but end of the day, also with the employees have to be on board. They got to be backing you 150%. Look, a very simple example. You know, I was, of course, in that dark tunnel during the corona epidemic. I would have done it totally different with employees and cutting back on his salary. You know what I've done? We had to cut the wages, right? 10%, 15%. I would have temporarily make a deal with the unions and get maybe 25 to 30% of the people who are going early retirement, get them, continue paying them less, but leave them go on a kind of temporary relief, but then you would have paid the 70% of the employees more. Why? The 70% of the employees would have been more motivated. I would have even given them 15% on salary increase. Makes sense. When the epidemic goes away, you could access that pool again very quickly. And that was the problem also with Schiphol. They fired everybody. They fired at 30% or how much, 20%. And those people went look for other job. And then when the people want to come back, they want to give them mediocre salary. Yeah. You know what they said then? I ain't going to say it on your show. Yeah. But they're not coming. But that's a real issue. How come you don't have issues in the Gaulle, in Paris? How come you don't have issues in Atlanta? How come? Why? Because they didn't apply that strategy. Same thing as St. Martin. I mean, I'm going to tell you straight out, the union leaders on St. Martin should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Ashamed. They should resign and put a younger person to deal with it. You remember, you've been in Holland, right? You've been in Holland.
Yeah.
You know the NS, the Nederlandse Spoorwegen.
Yeah.
I said it. They went strike in the middle of the summer with the union. They got approval to strike. After the strike, they negotiated and the employees got 10% average wage increase in a difficult time.
You're going too far. You think if Willie Hayes, you think if...
Yeah, I missed him, by the way. Yeah, that's true.
The old
What happened to
here.
him? What happened to him, Willie Hayes? Oh, you don't hear nothing?
I hear nothing. I hear nothing at all.
Okay.
Mark,
Anyway.
you have to come back. At least we get to find out that you are running and that you are picking a political party. So I guess
You're going to choose the color.
I guess people out there should know. Thank you so much for coming, and of course, good luck. I hope you get what you need to get, and pay the Mahi money.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, just we're dealing with a claim. It's. I told you already, I'm pro-settlement, and I think that's the best thing for the country. So, no, Andrew, I want to thank you for inviting me, and invite me wherever. Maybe invite me next time as a politician.
Yeah, you never know. Then we could do some more questions. I like this.
All right.
Late Night Show with Andrew Rick. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to represent your side as JW3 Jam Where We Want presents versus Part 2? Who are you rolling with? A head-to-head battle of rhythm, bass, and drive, all in one night, featuring from AXA Anguilla, latest and Exodus HD.
Say it with your chest, oh yes.
And from Sugar City Sing Kicks, none other than Grandmasters. With a round one matchup of St. Martin's very own official band versus No Limit.
Impressive.
Plus DJ Big Boss and Maestro versus King Kimbe and Sexer. It all goes down at APS Parking Lot, also known as Tellem's Parking Lot, on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Tickets are $15 for early bird, $20 in advance, and more at the gate. Tickets are available via the K-Band app. Picture the studio on the Bush Road and at Van Dorp in Madam Estate. JW3 on Saturday, October 22nd presents versus Part 2. Who you rolling with?
Flawless victory.